Hello everyone, today we have a really unique take on a high evolutionary build. So if you've been around for a while, you know that for a period of time, especially lower on in the collection level, something called a She-Not deck was just dominant. And it was essentially something where you could either ramp on 5 into a skip and a She-Hulk plus an Infinite on the last turn, or you could drop a magic, you could skip on 6, and then you could drop your massive Infinite plus your She-Hulk plus a 1-cost card on the final turn. But now we are merging that idea with the Kitty Pryde Shuri ramp deck. And so this one offers several ways to get some solid power on the board. A lot of times you're going to be dodging initiative so that you can drop your big powerful plays and not have them in range or susceptible to a Shang-Chi play. It's also not quite as straightforward as the old She-Not deck. You have a couple of other alternative lines, and Hulk, if the worst case scenario, you can just drop him on the board and he's a massive resource. And so we're going to jump straight into a gold conquest run. All right, first up we have Bingle Boy. The first location is Machine World. We can eventually change that. Magic is also cool to be able to change like Death's Domain and things that the opponent think they have like a cheeky Jubilee into, and then all of a sudden you can change it and you can start playing into that location. So let's go with a Sunspot and Soak here. We don't have our Kitty Pryde, so that may not be the direction we go this game. It may, honestly, just end up being a magic skip on 6 into just a flood on turn 7 type of game. So they're running the Bishop. That tells me they're probably running a bounce deck. Bounce is overtaking the meta right now. It can be very flexible. It has the ability to just go over the top of really the power level of anything out there, but the drawback is that it can be kind of tough to navigate. It's not as straightforward as something like we're running today. They have Jeff, which is not as common in bounce decks. We lost the ability to do magic because of Iceman. We could do a Shuri skip and soak into the She-Hulk plus Taskmaster. Or we can do Shuri skip and soak into like something else. Probably going to be the Taskmaster though. I think it's worth sticking it out at least for one round. They do go ahead and move their Jeff. Wow, and they flood early? Oh, wait. I'm so confused by the Mysterio. And then the Hitmonkey. Unless they're planning to beast bounce this lane back in, and they're just looking to kind of elevate that lane for now. That's the only thing that I could see. So we're going to skip and soak. I think they beast here. Otherwise, they just played really, really early. And I don't quite understand why. The Iron Man. Okay. Iron Man now makes sense.
All systems go.
The Iron Man one is kind of taking over, and it does a couple of things pretty well. It's able to drop initiative whenever it needs to, most of the time. It can be kind of clunky because it is a little bit higher cost, but in most situations, it's fine. So 32 power there is locked in. This would be 18, bringing us up to... Actually... bringing us up above that, right? So an extra 18 would bring this 15 up to 30, and then an extra 3 would bring it up to 33. We then hit this lane with a Taskmaster to bump it up to 18, and we hit this lane with a Wasp. We have a shot to overcome the Iron Man because they don't have any way to put additional power there. We also don't have to worry about a Shang-Chi play. Let's go with it. I think we're okay. Ooh, they do play for the left lane, which is fine. We have the 18 power, the 18 power. The Wasp coming down. It would give us the lead, I think. They gave us the good old fist bump. Where is the real Mysterio? It is in the right lane, and so we are able to come over the top of the bounce deck in gold. And so that is one of those things. This deck can manipulate its priority. It can drop some big, massive power more efficiently, so you don't have to leave that guesswork out in the open. And so we will take the first big cube game against Bingle Boy. And we didn't snap back. We didn't want to scare him off. And so we get Fisk Tower right off the bat. So let's go Sunspot here. Next turn, depending on what we draw, Misty Knight is going to be fantastic. Ooh, Taskmaster now becomes rough. That's the only thing about the bounce deck, is it could potentially hit your Magic, your Taskmaster, all kinds of just really impactful plays. And so let's go Misty Knight here. Misty Knight and Soak. We have the Invisible Woman next turn and Soak, so that Misty Knight is bumping up all of the cards that are on the board currently. They did snap on us, but I think we're okay. The Taskmaster was unfortunate. We're not going to be able to do like the cheeky Invisible Woman, then do a Shuri outside of that, a Taskmaster. But we can potentially, I don't know, find a way to persevere and overcome, maybe. We'll see. We could do the Invisible Woman into Machine World. That would send it their way, and I don't want to do that. So I'm actually going to play it into Necrosha. Necrosha is going to be tough for their Iron Man. And so they're going to have to look to either get a lot of power to come over the top or abandon that lane entirely. I am hoping that they eventually abandon that lane entirely. Let's play our Kitty Pryde in the left lane. Kitty Pryde and Soak is fantastic. Going into turn 5, if we don't draw our magic, then we're going to have to just probably angle towards doing a huge drop here in Necrosha on turn 6. Taskmaster would just be phenomenal, though. I wish, right, that they had not done what they did. They know what they did. It was awful. Scarred for life. It was awful. Depending on what we draw here, may dictate how we play this one. Iron Man in the left lane is big, but they would have to go with a big play. Plus over here, Shuri is big, but we can't do Shuri and Kitty Pryde. We would have to play something over here. Anything that they play here would be big. So like the Hulk, we could win this lane. But then all they need here is a handful of power. And they've definitely got a handful of power. They only have 3 cards in hand. One is Chavez. So maybe they don't have a big amount of power. But I'm sure they at least put something into Machine World. Let's go ahead and retreat out of this one. We'll play it tactically. We're retreating out of this one. We're saving our health. And we're going to jump into a new one. So we'll jump into the next round. We want to convert this gold ticket into infinite. That is what we want to do here. And so far, we have a good shot. I think we are probably, oddly enough, I think we're favored against Bounce. Now, they snapped on turn 1. They could have Kitty Pryde. We don't have Kitty Pryde. We have the Invisible Woman, plus Hulk would be good. Angela. I almost want to back out of this one. If they have their ideal setup, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it from Bingle Boy. We're not going to risk it. We're going to play it slow, meticulous, careful, and we want to convert the ticket. We don't want to play too abruptly. So we do get Sunspot. At least we have a 1 drop this time. Ooh, and we get our Kitty Pryde. And we do have Hulk. We do have She-Hulk. Let's go ahead and with the snap. And they go ahead and snap straight back. Interesting. Okay. This is immediately worth 4. Almost their entire health bar. So if we can somehow, if we happen to draw magic, then we're going to be able to do the skip, soak, flood on the last turn, which is going to be massive. They do have their Kitty Pryde on turn 1, which is good. Good for them. We do get our magic. This is beautiful, you guys. The ideal setup. Even if we don't get the Invisible Woman, the Shuri, we do get Taskmaster, which is also kind of big. Let's go Kitty Pryde again. We'll do Sunspot in the middle. It's never going to be the highest power in the left lane. Plus, we want to try to manipulate our priority. And we probably could have saved Sunspot 1 additional turn. At least that way Hulk would soak on turn 2. But at least we get a little bit of something on the board. We want to make sure we don't have initiative going through these last couple of turns. And whenever we end up dropping magic and then skipping, that should probably do it. Ooh, neither of our Kitty Prydes bounce back in. That's unfortunate. We do get Angela here, which is nice. So let's go Angela into Triskelion. We get 2 copies of Jessica Jones. What are the odds of that? Their Spider Ham hits our Evolved Hulk. How rude. We can still do the magic method, but it's not anywhere near as efficient or impactful. Let's go with the Kitty Pryde. We won't draw, though, is our only issue. We're not going to be drawing for like the rest of the game. But I think we're okay. I think we will be okay. Maybe. They have the Kitty Pryde that they're going to use. Goose is interesting. Goose is an interesting one. They got from the Triskelion. We won't be able to put our big, like, I guess, Taskmaster or Hulk into this lane. So very interesting play. Do we think we'll have the highest power card? Our Evolved Hulk's not great. Our Kitty Pryde is kind of lackluster. I don't know that we'll have the highest power card in the left lane. I'm going to go Magic in the right lane. I'll eventually stack. They won't be able to do their Iron Man here, which is the good thing. If they go Iron Man and it's in the left lane, that's beautiful. We just dodged a bullet of beautiful. We just dodged a bullet of priority. We dodged a bullet. Actually, we have priority. That's fine. We can do Kitty Pryde. That will bring our She-Hulk down to 1. This is 1. This brings our She-Hulk down to 2. This is 1. No, we need it to be 1. That way we can do 1, 1, 5 and be fine. Let's do this. We are not going to drop initiative here, which is the scary thing. Not dropping initiative leaves us open to like Shang-Chi play, things like that, things of that nature. So the Kitty Pryde comes down, the Swarm comes down in limbo. And so we are going to be fighting for this middle location now. They do have the Bishop, but I think, how do we navigate this one? The 8, the 9, and then the extra 9. With a Sunspot Soak, that's pretty decent. I think we have a shot. It's worth the risk. It's only 2 additional at this point. We have some pretty big numbers. Like we could try to trick them and play for Monster Metropolis with something that's bigger than 6. That cuts them like in half. It cuts them down to 12. All it would take would be the She-Hulk to win that location. That's just sneaky enough to work, right? This is going to be 12, so it'll be bigger for the Taskmaster, but it's only 12. So if they play anything here, then they get that one back. We're reverting back. We're reverting back to this. Let's go ahead and lock it in. Hopefully they at least play something of value in the left lane so that I don't feel as bad. Otherwise, we would have had to stack like both She-Hulk and Kitty Pryde over there, which could have been done. It's a definite possibility. So the Kitty Pryde comes down. Mysterio, Stegron, lapping away. The 1 out of 3 of the cards that he needed. Had we stacked over here, we would have been A-okay. We would have been just fine. Ah, that's brutal. Bingle Boy, that is brutal. You got the is the 33% chance. And had we went with our alternate playline, that wouldn't have been possible. Ah, that makes me sad. Well played, Bingle Boy. We are now very far down. We are fighting for our gold life. I can't believe it came to this because that was such an unfortunate play. We get the Invisible Woman and the Taskmaster, so beautiful value there. Unless they do because we skipped and soaked last turn, She-Hulk is 5. They Spider Ham and they hit one of these cards. Let's hope not. Hope they don't have Spider Ham. The Kitty Pryde. Okay, the Iceman. Iceman hits magic, so we can extend the game. Nidavellir becomes very scary for us because an Iron Man is just amazing here. We do get the Evolved Hulk. So the Taskmaster into the Evolved Hulk is here. Yeah, the Taskmaster here, the Evolved Hulk is huge. Huge play for us. But as long as the Taskmaster is the first card in that left lane, we're fighting for our lives after that Stegron. All Stegron came in to just absolutely save the day for him. So unfortunate. Let's go She-Hulk to the right. I wish we had Shuri, but we don't. Would it be more worthwhile to just let this kind of skip and soak and float? That would be a bigger Hulk, and as a result, a bigger left lane. I guess it comes down to where we have to compete for. So we are gonna skip and soak. We're gonna let this one fly. I'd rather have a bigger Hulk. The Bast comes down. The Bast and the Beautiful. They do have Angela in the left lane, which is massive, massive value. Unfortunate value, but it's massive nonetheless. We're gonna go Taskmaster, Evolved Hulk, and Wasp, and hope it's enough. We will have to. To be fair, we either have to play Wasp before Hulk or play it into the Evolved, into the hub location. Either or. We can't. We want to make sure that that ordering is right. If we do Hulk and then Wasp outside of this lane, it could be a bad day. So they do Iron Man and Nidavellir. That's okay. We were giving that one away. We did not want to compete for that location. We are able to drop initiative. We don't have to worry about if they have a Shang-Chi teched in. So now let's go... Let's go 18 power should be enough wherever we play. So let's go Wasp here. 18 power in Lemuria. We get the Taskmaster, the sneaky Taskmaster, that I hopefully allows us to continue our life. Kitty Pryde is big. Mysterio is big. We do overcome that left lane. We should overcome this right lane as well. The Hitmonkey, the Mysterio, not quite going to be enough. We are still alive against Bingle Boy. Beyond all odds, we are still alive. Can't believe that Stegron stabbed us in the back. We just need a few more like that, and we will be A-okay. Actually, 2 more. 2 more and we will be on our way. Jumping into round number 6. Okay. We get some good starting cards. I mean, it would of course be better if we had the double Kitty Pryde. Or if we had Kitty Pryde early, but we get Magic. So if we can get Magic off before they... I don't think they will ever realize how much that just destroyed us. Like that double Iceman with a curve as big as ours. I don't think they will ever know quite how bad that was. Fortunate. We can't even rotate or hope to rotate into Magic because we already have it in hand. Awful. Absolutely awful. I think Kitty Pryde here a handful of times. Into like a double Kitty Pryde plus like a She-Hulk would be what we would be hoping for. Is just playing and leaning in on the Kitty Pryde every single turn and hoping for the best. Probably going to get the worst, especially like a double Iron Man is going to be almost unstoppable now at this point. Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to be almost unstoppable. Let's get our Kitty Pryde down. Let's get our Misty Knight. We're going to focus on Kitty Pryde every single turn. Spider-Ham. I guess that's more than a meh. That's a big thing because we could have at least skipped and soaked and had a cheaper She-Hulk. So, it's unfortunate. The Chavez flips in the right lane. I would have hoped that they flipped into Iron Man, but I'm guessing they probably have Iron Man in hand. Looking devastating, you guys. Looking absolutely atrocious. Double Kitty Pryde, double Sunspot. They will pull back in. We will skip and float. This is not the Iron Man. Ooh, Spider-Ham comes back. Hits our She-Hulk once again. Not the direction we're going with, but... Double Hitmonkey already. They have to have Iron Man. Like, there's no way they don't have Iron Man. 1 card in hand. 1 card in hand, Iron Man. That's all you need. So the double 20 is good, but... That's not bad, depending on where they stack. If this is not Iron Man, it's definitely not a bad one. I think we lose to the Iron Man. It's a heck of a way to go out, though. Let's go ahead and lock this in. The Shuri into the Kitty Pryde. Kitty Pryde in the right lane. Ooh, they must not have Iron Man if they're digging. So the Iron Man in the right lane, we need our cards to stack comfortably into mid, and we have a shot here. So they go Mysterio, and that is it. We have a chance. There's a small opening. If we can get one of our big cards, our Kitty Pryde here, we're still alive, you guys. We are still alive. 1 more to go for the comeback. I had counted myself out of that one. The Iron Man eluded them for so long during that game. The top deck of the Shuri was massive. Huge tempo swing, giving us an additional chance to get a card here, and it had to go into this lane to be viable. We are still alive. We need 1 more for the round 1. This is for gold 1. We were looking for that comeback. Insanity. We don't have any of our cards that absolutely get slaughtered by an Iceman yet. We'll see. We'll see if we can hold this down. We do have Sunspot out on the board already. We can now go Misty Knight. And then we'll skip and soak. Misty Knight's going to start buffing some cards. They do have Kitty Pryde from turn... I guess, I don't know if it's turn 1 or not. But they get the Iceman. It hits our Invisible Woman. So not a huge deficit to us. Thankfully, it's not a huge deficit. Shadowland pops up in the right lane. I don't think they're running Falcon. Now that I think about it, I don't think they have the Falcon in play. Let's go Angela. We do have our We do have our Invisible Woman that we can place somewhere eventually. I don't know exactly how or when we do that, but we want to make sure we're prioritizing the Hulk float. I guess the Sunspot Soak and the Misty Knight buff instead, because we just got hit with the Spider Ham. Okay, so Shuri. Shuri's not bad. How do we want to play Shuri, though? Because we don't necessarily want to play it this turn. We can go Invisible Woman. I don't know. Our hand looks awful. Without Kitty Pryde, our hand looks really, really bad. So they have the Beast. They bounce the Kitty Pryde back in, who's already been insanely elevated by the Bast. We gave it our Bast shot. Our Bast opportunity. We were trying to seize everything we ever wanted. We ended up squandering it. We're going to go surprise Shuri in the right lane. Might as well. Well, that's not great. Iron Man can move into New York, so it's like set in stone here. But even overcoming the Kitty Pryde is gnarly. Massive. Kitty Pryde is way too late, my friends.
In range. Target locked. Locked in.
You know, I don't think we have a shot here, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to move everything over to the left lane. Hope that for some reason they just fumble the ball. We're going to lock this in. They don't move the Iron Man. Ooh, interesting. So the Bishop comes down. Angela comes down. Big Kitty Pryde. Spider Ham. We have a chance here, guys. No way. The Shuri pig. The Shuri pig is going to do it for us, right? Bingo boy. That was intense. We were going to go ahead and take win number 1. That's not even like that feels like it could be the finisher, like the finale, the last battle. But that was battle number 1 in gold. We are slogging and grogging it out. Let's go ahead and jump straight over into battle 2. Hopefully they go by a little bit faster than that because that was intense. All right, jumping into battle number 2. Let's go ahead and queue up. Man, some of these battles, like you see some of the creators say, oh, I breezed through 50-0, didn't lose a single bar of health in Infinite. We're here sweating potential gold matches, potential infinite matches. It just really depends, and you never know which direction it's going to flow. All right, next up we have Nacronite. We do have Kitty Pryde in our starting hand. We also have Dark Dimension, so we don't even need the Invisible Woman. I feel bad about it, but that's going to be a turn 1 snap. We have the Taskmaster to hide in the Dark Dimension. If we get any kind of elevation card, like that Taskmaster is going to be massive. We can always hide our Kitty Pryde when we're done bouncing it into the Dark Dimension as well. Potentially. We would need Taskmaster to be the first one in that location. So, okay, Invisible Woman comes down, so we have that option as well, which is a beautiful option to have. We have Angela. I'm going to go ahead and just do our Kitty Pryde here, not the Angela. Next turn, we could do Angela plus Kitty Pryde. Ooh, my gosh. And then Elysium comes down and blesses us from above with the Elysium, with the cost reduction, making all of our cards just so beautifully cheap. I don't think we even play the Invisible Woman here. I mean, we can, just because we have the extra. That's going to make us have to do magic into Astrodim, which is fine. But then we also have to be doing Kitty Pryde every single turn here until we can't anymore. That's fine. We're fine with that. That also means that our big power like Shuri or Hulk would have to be here unless we play it before the Taskmaster. This is probably not necessarily. Ooh, and then we get the Shuri. Surely that's not how this is going to go down. I don't think we even extend the game with magic. I think we just bombard them with so much stuff because we're going to be able to do Kitty Pryde. Next turn, we just do Kitty Pryde. We could do Shuri, She-Hulk, and Kitty, leaving a really big Taskmaster in the left lane, just making it really hard for them to overcome what they need to. So they did snap back when they saw the Astrodim, so I'm curious what they're running. They could be running a Hela deck. That'd definitely be convenient. So do we extend the game with magic? I haven't seen any of their cards. We haven't seen any other cards. We can extend the game with magic. We're digging for an Evolved Hulk. This will give us a 2 out of 4 chance to get it. I like it. I kind of like it. Let's go with the magic extension. That's going to increase our potential high roll. Now, there's a chance that they do change this location. If so, that's okay. We have the Taskmaster here, which is also going to be a fairly big resource for us, even if the game ends. So I go double card drop here. It could be a Helideck. And I think we're okay against the Helideck. Misty Knight, because this has already been played. We then do Kitty Pryde. We do Shuri. And then next turn we can do a double power Shuri, a double power Kitty Pryde. Or a double power Kitty Pryde, a double power, and then the Taskmaster. Oh my goodness. Let's go with this. The only issue is if they do change this location, then this becomes a wash. Okay, no. They're just playing into the blind, which is scary. Crystal, ooh. Ooh. It is a hella resummon list. But that's okay, I think. Alright, the double-powered Kitty Pryde is big. Into... Oh my gosh. We won't even be able to soak because of these cards. It reveals after the game ends. So we can just vomit stuff. Taskmaster will be 24 power, giving us a big leverage here, a big leverage here. I think we're okay with that. Even if they get like a hella resummon. Now, the only thing we worry about is a Shang-Chi here. No, they go with Invisible Man. So it is a hella resummon discard list, which we're okay with. Perfectly fine with. They go with the massive Magneto. We should reveal first. Taskmaster is 24 power. I expect nothing less than a MODOK and a Hela, and I honestly think we can potentially overcome that high roll because this is a lot. This is a lot of power. The MODOK discards Death, big. Odin, big. Okay, all of those are pretty big. And then the Hela to resummon, right? Then Ghost Rider. Okay, so depending on where they go. No way. That Odin pops up directly into Dark Dimension, triggering MODOK again, re-triggering Hela again, which is wild. We get the Mojo over there, so we do win that left lane. The middle location is where they would have to get all of their power, and it does not look like it is where it's going to happen. Oh, and that's awful too. What a wild ride. What a wild ride. And then, oh my, it's still going. Wait, what? How did it resummon them twice? Because Deathlock destroyed them in the middle? It resummoned them again? Because they didn't discard Death and Helicarrier twice. Wild. Because they were no longer on the board state, it thought they were still discarded? I don't know how that happened. I've never seen this because a destroy in the middle of a Hela resummon, I've never seen it happen. That's wild. We do get the second win. I said I wish this next one would go quicker. That definitely went quicker. That is a one and done, my friends. One round in and out. We went over the top of the Hela high roll. Let's go ahead and we're going to jump out of this one. And we will be jumping into battle number 3 right away to see if we can grab another infinite ticket, which would give us some more content to do for another video. All right, we're jumping straight into the next battle. Battle number 3, the last one for the infinite ticket. This deck is pretty solid. With bounce coming back as commonly as it is, I'm seeing a lot more Invisible Woman teched in, giving you the ability to even further drop your initiative when you need to. And so we're going against Xeno as our final big bad opponent. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can overcome it. I'm on the PC client. I'm taking a peep at this top corner to always look for the high Evo. If you see an orange shimmer from their border, so like ours has this orange shimmer, you can see it down here below this just a touch. Maybe not. Maybe you can't see it on here. But you can see it above their avatar here. So the first location is Fisk Tower. Getting back on track. It's another bounce deck. Bounce is... There's a lot of people that are singing Bounce's praises. And that's because Lockjaw rotation is so common. And Bounce does really good against it. and this can go over the top of a lot of decks and just not give it room to really elevate where it needs to. And so we're seeing a lot of bounce. Bounce is beatable, but you definitely have to have the fact that you're going into bounce in mind. So not even just like a Sandman. Sandman is a potential answer, but Sandman doesn't do great into just about all of the other common meta decks. And so looking at the other solutions, there's several ways into it. Actually, I think we can surprise them here. Unless Hulk pulls into mid, we're going to be able to do a Taskmaster on 5. We could do High Evo, but then our Hulk is not going to continue to scale. So they had the Nova. So it tells me that they're running not the bounce deck, but the counter deck. So the counter heavy deck. We have to look out for an Enchantress. So maybe we don't lean so heavily onto our Taskmaster in the left lane. Maybe we do, but it's a scary thing. It's a scary thought. Scary thought to think. We can extend the game with magic, making sure that things don't pull. That would allow us to do a Taskmaster that is uninterrupted. It still allows our Hulk to scale, and then we can slap Hulk on the last turn, giving us like a 22 power, just like massive play. Now, if they do Enchantress, it's unfortunate, but they haven't yet. So we're still in this. Everything else about this deck tells me it is a Sarah counter deck, but they haven't done it just yet. Maybe they're waiting for like just the right moment. I don't know. We'll see. We want to make sure we don't have initiative. That way the Shang-Chi play is not a potential issue. This could be. If they Enchantress here, then we just lose at that point. But otherwise, I think we have a shot. Let's go Taskmaster. Our Hulk will continue to soak. Okay, so the Sarah plus the Kitty Pryde is big. How much more do they put in this lane, though? We're going to do this direction. Hopefully they don't put much more into the Fisk Tower lane since it's already 17. I'm hoping they stack into these two locations, furthering those. If they stack much more here, there's not much we can do. They're going to be able to flood, yeah? We should have retreated. Maximus, wow. Shadow King. Not what I was expecting. By any means. Definitely not what I was expecting. Hulk is going to smash down at 20 power. That gives us 20 power here. 23, 24, 25. With the Misty Knight, we were short just the one because of the massive Maximus. Like, look at that Maximus. He held that down, bringing 9 power over here. That was huge. Unfortunately huge. But we know a lot about the end game of their deck. It's like a Sarah counter deck, but it also has in like the Shadow King to offset our Kitty Pryde bonus, the Maximus, so maybe a Silver Surfer, and it's like a Sarah Surfer, so like a Sarah Silver Surfer deck, which could be wild. If you're running into wave very often, that could be a liability. But otherwise, I think it's okay. I don't think they're going to have a way to change the lane looking at what they're running. So we can do Kitty Pryde, skip and soak. Or maybe this is not one that we use. Maybe this isn't one that we use the Infinite, because we won't be able to do Taskmaster on 5. So we need to augment our plan. We're going to go ahead and Kitty Pryde, we Sunspot. Next turn we'll be able to do Angela plus the Kitty Pryde. We wanted to do it outside of curve, that way we can continue elevating our Kitty Pryde, which is going to be I think a big factor in if we can win this one. And so let's go Angela, Kitty Pryde. We don't think they're going to go Shadow King in mid unless they have a Luke Cage teched in as well. I don't think they're going to go with that. Maybe they have a Cosmo at some point teched in. Like a Sarah Surfer is not something I'm familiar with. And so I have no idea. This is the Wild West. I have no idea what they're running. And so we could do this. We could then skip into like a She-Hulk, Kitty Pryde, something. But I think we go ahead and play at least Kitty Pryde next turn. Trying to grab the win against Xeno here. All right, so they play Kitty Pryde. Okay, so they're going to continue elevating their Angela. They do also have Bishop on the board. And then they have Thor now. Definitely an interesting cook, Xeno. Curious where the idea or inspiration came from. Invisible Woman's not bad. I think we go just Kitty Pryde here. We probably won't do Kitty Pryde and Taskmaster. We do have Wasp to get some additional reach. We're going to be able to make sure we don't... we'll probably have initiative with the Sunspot Soak. But that's fine. They go first, so... Okay, the Nova, the Kitty Pryde. We have to worry about them having the Killmonger. The Killmonger we know is in their deck. But we don't have initiative here. We were able to dodge the initiative. No, we do have initiative. We get the unlucky 50-50 here.
Opponent snapped.
This is going to be beautiful. They're going to expect... Oh, no. So they're going to... I think we have this one. I think we're okay here. So I think they're expecting the Killmonger to take out our Kitty Pryde. It does take out our Sunspot, though, which is a potential issue. Because that's going to take away 5 there. So maybe we do... this. We keep the 11 power Kitty Pryde, the 9 power She-Hulk in mid, plus the... so it's an extra 11 in mid. I think this is where we go. I think we move the Wasp. If we lose this lane by 3, I'd be so furious. So furious. I guess it'd be by just a small margin. Killmonger comes down. Beautiful. But the Invisible Woman is going to protect us from that play. What goes extra here? We need it to be small. The Maximus is... okay. Are we okay with that? We are okay with that. We are okay with that. The Kitty Pryde coming down in the left lane. The Wasp swinging it back in our favor. So that was the clutch, critical, locational positioning of that Wasp play. Oh my god. The the last turn, Invisible Woman came in so big for us there. And that is 8 cubes on our way to winning this one. Oof. Like, I can't even blame Xeno for snapping there. They had a lot of... they had dropped initiative. They had the Killmonger. They knew our Kitty Pryde was a big portion of our power. Like, I can't even blame them for snapping there. That was just unfortunate. So Fisk Tower comes down as the first location. Negative zone is tough. We have our Misty Knight, but I don't know if I want to play it yet. Eventually, yes. But I am potentially worried about the Killmonger. Shuri is good. Right now, I'm not confident in our hand. Like, we have the Shuri, Taskmaster, Hulk. If we had had Invisible Woman on the board, this would be beautiful. This would be an easy snap. But we don't, and we didn't. I don't think they have Shang-Chi, do they? I'm not familiar with the Sarah Surfer list. Like, that's a brew that I've never seen. I don't know if they have Shang-Chi or not. I don't know if we worry about loading the She-Hulk onto the board early or not. You know, with Magic, we actually... Now we're going to go ahead and play it. With Magic, we can actually skip 1/6 into turn 7, but I think we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and put quite a bit into the left lane. Hope that the Shang-Chi is not a big factor here. Could be. It's a potential. If it is, it is. Let's go ahead and go Magic. We have, at the very least, we can reverse the order now. So before we were wanting to hide the Taskmaster, play that first, behind the Invisible Woman, and then the Hulk. Now we're going to be able to do the Hulk on 6 into the Taskmaster on 7. That way we can kind of flip-flop. We have big high power in 3 of all 3 lanes. So even if they have the Shang-Chi, it's going to be hard for them to overcome that power in all of the lanes. They do go ahead and play their Shadow King, though. I wish we could enable the Shuri, but I don't think this isn't going to be the game where we can do that. So let's go Hulk in the left lane. We're going to hope that we lull them into a false sense of security in Tinker's Workshop, that we're not competing for that location. And then we aim to slam our Taskmaster over there on the last turn. Wasp, depending on what this looks like, probably in the left lane. But we'll see. Kitty Pryde comes down, enabling their Angela, Luke Cage. Okay, so they did have the Luke Cage in there. We hadn't seen that up until this point. But we did change the negative zone, so we don't have to worry about that one anymore. Let's go Taskmaster. We do have initiative, so let's go Taskmaster over here. They've already dropped Shadow King. We don't worry about that setting our Taskmaster back to 0. And then we could do our Wasp. And then an Invisible Woman somewhere. Let's go ahead and do the extra 3 in the right lane. I feel like we need the extra power there. And this would be for all of the remaining health from Xeno. But if not, they were splitting their amount of remaining health in half. And so they do play for 2 lanes. They split their attention. We get the Wasp in the left lane. It's definitely not a huge resource. We maybe should have done the Taskmaster over there, giving us that additional read. The Maximus comes down. That's big, but our right lane is really big as well. The Killmonger is not going to be enough to hold this one down. They clear out a little bit of our left lane, but we get mid, we get right, and we do bring home the gold conquest with this beautiful, like a Frankenstein of a deck. We are able to hold it down, being able to pump out some silly power in some silly ways that are going to be hard to deal with for a lot of decks. And we can always extend the game. We don't always have to, but it is an option to be able to lean in. So there's a lot of different routes that you can get that big power on the board. So this one, we did the Hulk into the Taskmaster. Normally you want to hide the Taskmaster into the Hulk later, but this one, since we didn't have that, we had to work with the pieces that we had. And there's a lot of flexible ways to use this list. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let's go ahead and show the infinite ticket coming down. If I had had an extra infinite ticket, I would have taken this in an infinite run. That's how confident in this list I am. But the Gold Conquest, I think, is good enough. We had some really good matches. Bounce, like a Sarah Surfer, I imagine. We never saw the Surfer, so maybe it was just a good card Sarah list. I don't know. We will take the infinite ticket into giving us 1 ticket entry into the Infinite Conquest. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to give it a like and a comment down below. And as always, this has been TLSG. Later, guys.